everyone, I'm Jessica Stutzman and welcome back to the Millcreek Government Channel. Movies and films have always had a massive influence on today's society. This form of artwork can tell a story that allows the viewer a few minutes or a few hours to escape, and most recently can be attributed to bringing about social change as well. Films really can change the world and how we perceive it. Here to talk with us a little more on the influence and the importance of the arts through filmmaking is the Executive Director, Erica Berlin of the Film Society of Northwest Pennsylvania. Erica, thank you so much for joining us here today. It's so nice to have you back on the show. It's been a little while.
It has. Thanks, Jessica.
What I want to chat about, because again, it has been a couple years since we've had you on the Government Channel, is what is the mission of the Film Society and has it changed over the years?
Well, it hasn't really changed over the years, but our mission is to help filmmakers in the region, to empower them, to feel like they have the resources that they need to kind of explore their ideas, to find like-minded people in the community, and to go out and make movies. Also to help people that love movies to have access to things that they might not already know about, see. You know, you can go to Tinseltown and see movies, but that's not only what you can see, right? There's independent film, there's art house film. So we try to bring new experiences in film. And then we also try to bring new programming in film. So we've got, after COVID kind of shut down programming for a while, bringing people in confined spaces to watch movies together, we've been able to bring back some new programming, so we're pretty excited about that.
Mm-hmm. And we also interviewed Margaret about the Erie Horror Fest, and the one thing that we were talking about is when people who are maybe not in this industry or this artwork, this art form, is you think of the actors and the directors. Mm-hmm. How many more people are entwined in the film industry?
Oh my gosh. So anything that you need to build or make, it's not just the person that you see in the commercial, right, who's selling that. It's anyone that builds a set, who builds a house. You know, there's someone wiring the electric, there's someone hammering a nail to put the frame together. So there's all kinds of trades that work together to make a set. There's people who put up lighting, those are called gaffers. So anyone who works behind the scenes, we have Bill here behind the camera. Mm-hmm. Hi, Bill. We have Aaron back there. Those are people who work in the film industry, whether it's in a studio or out in the community or out on site. There's people who have equipment that they maintain and that they rent out, and then of course there's actors and actresses, and there's producers who have to organize all of this. Just like there's people who are executives, there's people who make decisions about it, and there's hiring and there's finances. I mean, it's a business like any other. Mm-hmm. So what's really interesting is, anytime you have a business, it's an industry, and that industry exists anywhere. So the Film Society certainly assists people when they're trying to make that industry work. Mm-hmm. And it even exists here in Erie. So there are filmmakers that are certainly just budding filmmakers. Mm-hmm. And so we try to encourage them a little bit. And some of the resources here in Erie are just starting out, and some of them are more experienced. We're happy to connect those. There are film productions that come in from out of town, and we assist them with locations and connect them to resources such as crew members or equipment rentals. Locations is a big one. People are looking for, where can I get on the beach? Mm-hmm. I want to go to Presque Isle. How do I get a permit? Things like that.
Mm-hmm. Very, very cool. I love all the behind the scenes workings of it all. What kind of events does the organization bring to the community?
Well, if you spoke to Margaret Deodonay, she is one of our leaders, and she probably told you all about the Erie Horror Fest. I mean, that is the biggest event that we've brought to date. It is a 4-day film festival that includes short and feature-length films that are submitted from all over the world. The film festival industry is an industry in itself, and it's where filmmakers that are established. You know, people like Christopher Nolan show their films at film festivals, not ours. But so not just that, but you know, new filmmakers here in Erie submit their films to film festivals. So you get to see what's brand new. It's something that, you know, a big studio doesn't have to go and say, okay, well, we'll take that, we'll produce that. It's completely unfiltered by, you know, someone in an industry. So we get to see things right as they're budding, you know. Something without the filter of someone who thinks, oh, that can make money. You can see that at a film festival. So that's what, it's so cool, you know. So film festival, you know, we have films, we have celebrity guests, which is really, really exciting. People can come and meet celebrities that they're interested in. We have a pitch competition, which is awesome. I know Margaret probably told you about that, which is fantastic because we have a lot of local people who want to make films and they haven't even gotten to that stage yet. They're writers, they're creators, and they get to pitch to industry professionals who say, man, you've got a really great idea, go for it. So that encouragement is really important. We're really happy to support that. So that's one of the programs that we do. Another program that we just launched last spring, it's called Movie Magic, and it's in partnership with Keller's Magic and Comedy Club downtown. And it's actually a great venue to show film because it's nice, kind of cozy tables, and we have a screen up front. It's got good sound there, so it's really cool. It's coming back this fall, starting September 14th. Thursday nights, so $10 ticket admission, and you have to buy, you know, minimum of 2 purchases, so have a couple cocktails. But they also have a full dinner menu, you know, dietary options. You can get whatever you want from the kitchen. But the first film we're showing is The Prestige, and Bobby Borgia, who is the owner, and he's a magician himself, so he's going to be the co-host that night. Really looking forward to that one. I think I had Christopher Nolan on the brains because of that movie, but it is one of my favorites. The Prestige is directed by Christopher Nolan, if you didn't know. So that's our opening night, and then The Red Shoes, which is a film about dance. It's the 75th anniversary of that film, and we'll have a performance that evening by Seish Dance Company. That'll be really interesting. So one of the things I think that's been really wonderful about the Film Society is our programming isn't just in a bubble of film. It's not just, hey, come watch a movie and we'll see you at the next one. We've always been really specific about reaching out to other arts organizations in the community or other nonprofits in the community. Come do something with us. You know, we've got a film, it's about this. Why don't you come, you know, it's a perfect example of The Red Shoes. It's a movie about a dancer. Let's have a dance performance, right?
A full sensory experience.
A full sensory experience. Also, here's a film, and it's about an issue that affects people in the community, for example, substance abuse. And we'll invite a nonprofit in the community to come and speak directly about substance abuse to people afterwards. For example, you might be attracted to come see a film that has a character that's going through something that you might have gone through, and then we give you an opportunity to speak about that afterwards. When we were at the Erie Art Museum, we had a program called Film at the Erie Art Museum, and it lasted for 6 years. It was a fantastic program. We did that a lot because it was a very easy space to do that. We had a little stage, we had a podium, and you could move chairs around as needed, and it just was a great location for that kind of programming. As time went on, when we moved to the Bourbon Barrel and we had more of a dinner experience, it wasn't exactly the same experience, but that's the fantastic thing about the organization. It really has, it goes a little bit beyond just watching movies.
Well, and it kind of reminded me when you said that, you know, you don't have somebody, you know, maybe in California who's making changes. It's like talent in its rawest form. You know what I mean? Like it's not being edited or, you know,
right.
You know, and it's if it's specific to Pennsylvania and maybe like you said, an issue that we're experiencing, maybe they don't see it the same way. You know, because they're not in it, or I don't. That's just what I think.
No,
it's just raw.
That's a really good point that you make. It's a really good point that you make. Something that's extreme, like hyper local. If someone local is making a film, something that matters to us right here, then the issue to discuss is really important to people right here.
Right.
So I think you're making a great point. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so we talked a little bit about the Erie Horror Fest. How does it tie back to the organization?
Well, I mean, it's a program of our organization, so we do a lot of fundraising for it. So the Film Society is a nonprofit, and we do a lot of grant writing. We do a lot of fundraising to support the festival. It's 4 days. You know, film licensing and all the equipment and all the rentals and all the celebrities. It's a very, very expensive undertaking. So we certainly have other programming like Movie Magic that we hope, you know, a little bit will be supportive of the festival, but over time, you know, the Horror Fest should be able to be self-sustaining. And we're very proud as, you know, as the Film Society to say like, wow, you know, look at this. This is our #1 program. We're very proud of it. It can kind of stand on its own, and as an organization, as a nonprofit, you know, it's a great achievement to have something like that. You know, really, I mean, it launched in 2021 under our belt. You know, it lasted. It was around for about 13 years. Under different management, under an individual's management, and it kind of, you know, went on hiatus and then stayed there, and we kind of picked it up as a nonprofit, as an organization of people, and you know, by year 3 where we are now, it just feels, we just feel like as a collective, as a team, we just feel so proud of it. So yeah, I mean, just kind of going from here, I guess, just hoping that the longer that we're here, the longer that we continue to make an audience happy, I guess that's it, right? The more we please the people who attend, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, you draw them in, and then they get excited, and then they tell 5 more people, and then the crowd gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah, that's
right?
it. That's the hope.
Yeah, and how long has the Film Society been in existence, been an organization?
We incorporated in 2009, and it's kind of existed for a bit, and then in 2011, I think we kind of organized a board and really kicked off. That's when the Film at the Erie Art Museum program kicked off, and that really found its footing, and the community really built around it, and it's gone from there.
Yeah.
What I've loved to see is there are certain people who have kind of come into the fold, right? And at first, they're just making friends and just hanging around. And then once they do that, they get hired or they come on board to help other people with their projects and just kind of slowly build up confidence to the point where they start doing things on their own. And then once they do that, I mean, everyone matures, right? So not only do they mature, but they grow their skills, and then once they do that, it keeps going and going and going, and then they get to their point where they're like kind of leading their own show. Yeah, there's a few people like that, and I just love it because that happened because of us.
Yeah, you fostered the growth.
Yeah, we fostered the growth, but we just kind of gave them the network. That's kind of what it is, because in this situation in our organization, often it's really just the networking. We didn't give that, you know, we didn't say, here's a set, you know, this is our production. That's not really what we do. We just kind of give them the network and you know, here's this person, here's that person.
The tool belt, and then they can use all the tools in their tool belt to create.
Sure, if you like, yeah.
Okay, so why, in your opinion, why is making film such an important medium for everyone to support?
Well, I mean, we live in a visual world. You know, I teach communications, and someone just told me the other day that we have an 8-second attention span now.
Wow, I'm not surprised at all.
Well, if you think about how much time you spend looking at something before you swipe up or across or whatever.
I feel like I do it like, you know, on social media, like I feel like 4 good swipes, and if I'm not, my interest isn't held, I'm like, okay, I'm off, what's the next thing?
Right, so making good content it's probably so important, and yet it's, how do you even get people to that content? I think about this past year. I was so annoyed with the marketing for the Barbie thing. I'm alone on that float, but I was like, I was hearing about Barbie for like almost over a year, but then I realized they had to do that. If they hadn't been talking about Barbie for over a year, it would have kind of come and gone, and people were like, oh, they made a movie about Barbie.
Well, because how many more had been done before it? I mean, not specifically with this plot line.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's been so many cartoons and this and that. I feel like it might have gotten lost in the...
Well, it might have, but I think what would have happened is, if they hadn't have had so much conversation about it, like the marketing about it leading up to it to get people excited, somebody would have come along and said, they made a movie about Barbie and it was preachy or something. Like somebody would have written a ridiculous review of it, and people were like, okay, I'm not gonna go see that. When really, Barbie was a good movie, and it had like a nice message that people really, that wasn't preachy, but somebody would have interpreted that as preachy, and people would have written it off. So they were really smart about Barbie. It just got kind of annoying. I think I'm kind of going on a tangent here, but your original question was, why is film important? It's different than anything else. It's kind of like the crossover of like, artwork on the wall is beautiful to look at, and sometimes you just need to open your eyes and look at something beautiful on the wall every day to make you feel happy, right? And we all love music. Everybody loves to listen to something and close their eyes and make their own pictures. But we're such a media-focused culture that we see moving pictures everywhere now, but sitting down and watching a movie, like, it spans, movies just span decades of interest, and like, that's a classic film. We can all get on board and watch something and go, there's a reason why that's a classic film, and we can all connect over something. There's no one who says, I don't like movies. Have you ever met somebody that says, I just don't like movies?
Right. You might not like the movie that you just watched, but I feel like when you watch a movie, I feel like you're looking for that feeling. Like whatever that feeling you're looking for, you're looking to be engrossed in that for 2 hours. That feeling of, if you're watching a Christmas movie, I want that warm, fuzzy feeling. I want to feel like I'm in a, when I leave this house today, I want to feel like I'm in a Hallmark special. But I think when it comes to
that snow out there. I'm in a Hallmark special.
I'm in a snow globe right now. But I think you're looking for that feeling.
Yes. And that's it. I mean, they say like, you'll never forget the way things make you feel. You may forget even like the title of a movie, but you're like, I felt that way when I watched it, and you associate feelings with things. And so, movies just kind of hit you on a different level because you can see and hear and who were you with and what was that experience like.
And I think it's funny too now, now that I have a little girl, I think of movies that I want to pass down. Like, this one meant so much to me. I cannot wait for you to get old enough to watch it. And I think that's what's funny, is what spans the generational gap and what holds up with the test of time.
Absolutely. I think about that too, of like, I used to have a group of girls that I used to watch musicals with. We would get together and watch movie musicals. And my grandmother loved this one movie musical. And so I went and found it on DVD, black and white, very old. And I found it, and I brought it in, and we all watched it. It was like from the 30s. It's like, oh my gosh, I can totally see how this influenced my grandmother. And it just gave me this feeling. I'm like, oh my gosh, I miss her so much. Because I could see this character in my grandmother, even though she had passed away, I could see the influence on her. It was powerful.
Yeah. It is very much so. So This has been a great discussion on film, and I want our viewers who are interested to be able to connect with you.
Yes.
How can they reach out to you? How can they be involved? What would you love for people to do?
Well, I would love for people to check out our programming. You can find information about that on our website, which is filmsocietynwpa.org. But really, for the most up-to-date information, go to our socials. Our Facebook page is very active. Our Instagram is Film Society NWPA. Go there because that's where all the latest information comes out really fast. We did have a really fun trivia night at Keller's on September 12th. In the summer, which is just wrapping up, we had Movie Mondays in partnership with Erie Downtown Partnership, which was a real blast. We're definitely going to do that again next summer. But throughout the fall, come to Keller's on Thursday nights. Lots of fun. Please do. That's Thursdays. You can find all that information on our website as well. And if you're interested in volunteering or getting involved, we'd love to have volunteers. Just email info@filmsocietynwpa.org. We'd love to have that as well.
Awesome. Erica, thank you so much for being with us here again today and just putting your organization fresh in our minds, at the forefront of our minds again.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Viewers, we've had an awesome discussion today about the Erie Horror Fest and the Film Society of Northwest PA. They have such great events to share, and like Erica said, nobody hates films. Everybody loves watching movies and films. So I feel like this particular organization resonates with everyone. So if you're interested and want to learn more, feel free to check out their website and social media. I want to thank you for tuning in to the Millcreek Government Channel, and until next time, have a great day.